Does your Teams channel look like this? If so, your Teams app is probably already on life support, and you might not even know it. I'm about to show you 5 deadly signs that your Microsoft Teams might not be set up correctly, and in fact is secretly destroying your team's efficiency. And number 3 will make you check your channels right away. Look, I've analyzed hundreds of team setups over the last few years, and most of them were making these critical mistakes. Warning sign number 1. Your team's channel area looks like a ghost town. I logged into a client's team system literally last week and saw something very much like this, where the last message in the channel was eons ago. In fact, in that example, it was Karen just making a quick post 3 weeks ago about Casual Friday. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Teams is not just another app that you install and forget about. It should be a place where things are buzzing, things are happening, lots of activity all day long. If your team looks like what I'm showing on the left here versus what I'm showing on the right, then you're basically paying for digital silence. So here's the quick fix. Create teams that people want to visit and work in. Set up some irresistible daily habits that happen within those teams and channels. And make it that one place that everybody goes first to find information or to have conversations. Now, before I show you exactly how to fix this, let's move on to warning sign number 2. If your team is drowning in chat messages, you're doing it wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, chat has its place, but if your team is solely relying on chat, you're missing the real power of Teams. Now, picture this. You're trying to find that important file your colleague shared with you last week. You scroll through endless chat messages, wasting precious time. Heck, maybe you're even searching, but there's too many items that come up with the same search words. Meanwhile, you could have had a well-organized team where that file could have been neatly housed inside the appropriate channel, easily accessible to everyone on that team. Remember, when you're in the chat area, you're not really in a team. You may be using the Teams app, but you're not participating in a team. So here's the reality check. Average time wasted in a chat, too many minutes. Files shared in a chat, much more likely to be lost. And teams using channels are 3 times more productive. All right, we're ready for warning sign number 3. And this is a big one. Do your channels look like a digital tornado hit them? I guarantee you that a lot of you are nodding your heads right now because most general channels look like this kind of mess here. Last month, I worked with a 20-person marketing team, and their general channel for their team had over 10,000 messages in it, which included everything from budget reports to somebody's cat photos. Although they could find a form in seconds, it took them almost 20 minutes to piece everything together. All the approvals, the comments, the feedbacks, and the next steps from all the different messages. The good news is, after a 1-hour restructure of that team and what was in the general channel, we were able to organize everything so that same search took 12 seconds. The channel game changer here is to have more channels. We want to have more than just that general or that first channel we get with every team. We want project-based channels, like a budget channel, maybe a planning channel, and resources channel for that group of people that are doing that particular project. We also want topic-specific channels, maybe a channel for quick questions or to celebrate wins, maybe even a random fun channel. In our membership group for 365 Learning Hub, you see that we have some very specific channel types here where we start with announcements. So we have a place to announce anything new in the membership. We have a meet and greet channels so people can introduce themselves. We even have a question and answer channel so that we can ask questions of the group or have them ask questions of us. The golden rule is, if it's important enough to separate the files and the conversations, then it gets its own channel. A quick tip for you here in terms of deciding what belongs in a channel is take a look at your files and your folders in particular. How many folders deep are you going with your information? Could some of that stuff be a channel instead? Okay, that's it for warning sign number 3. Let's move on to another one that really changes everything. Let's go on to warning sign number 4. You're sitting on a gold mine of integrated applications that work with Microsoft Teams. and work best, of course, within your teams, within your channels. Not too long ago, I watched a project manager send an Excel spreadsheet by email to a dozen of his staff, only to have those responses and comments and changes to that spreadsheet dwindle in over time, and have him spend many hours consolidating what needed to be changed in that spreadsheet. Meanwhile, that group of people could have belonged to a team together, had their own channel for that information, and used the Lists app instead and record their changes in real time. Now, hold on, before you think I'm suggesting that Lists takes over Excel, that's not what I'm saying. Excel definitely has its place. In fact, if that manager had instead went to the team and the channel that housed that Excel spreadsheet, and then went to the three dots beside it and copied the link to then post it to the rest of the team to open that Excel spreadsheet and change it in live time. That might have been a better solution. And there's many ways of doing this. You don't have to give people full edit rights to a spreadsheet. You might just give them the ability to comment. It just depends on what the situation requires. Quick little point here to mention as well is the share button. It's very accessible and easy for people to click on, whether it's in the menu or on the toolbar and such. Don't get too used to that button, because then you're forcing an email again. I know you're linking back to the original file, but why email people at all? Why not just put it in the posts, and then you're having them live in teams more so than living in their inboxes. So for real-time collaboration, use the files within your team's channels and use the links from those files so that you can collaborate with others. These files all have version controls so that you can go back and see which version is which, who commented on what, who changed what, if that's what you're allowing. And I'm only mentioning this because I see too many people still in email attachment land. I really encourage you to use the links feature. So here are some quick fix options for this part of it. With regards to Excel files, Word files, any kind of Microsoft document type of file, share the link of that file from the files area of the team into the posts area of the team. And by share, I mean really just copy the link. Second thing to keep in mind is enable the comments on those files so that you can encourage those threaded discussions and have that information on the file as well. The third thing is maybe start taking a look at the apps that are available to you instead of these traditional programs. So something like Lists, rather than using an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of certain information. If there isn't a lot of number crunching involved, if it's more of columns and rows of information that you want to track, Lists might be a better option for you. The point here isn't which tool necessarily. It's really about getting you out of email land and into teams more, where the collaboration and that sharing really happens. Now let's talk about these integrated apps that you could be using within any of your teams, within any of your channels, so you can get another level of your team's application working for you. We have the Planner app, which is your way of sharing tasks with the entire team. And so that might be your delegating tasks to the team, or you're just all putting in your tasks together so everybody knows what everybody else is working on and where they're at. You have the OneNote app, which is really an amazing application available to you in all your teams so that you can keep track of notes within the team and maybe stop using Word so much. You don't need those meeting minutes stored in Word documents. Try using the notebook attached to the team instead. You can even have a form available to people within a team so that you can encourage them to fill out information that you need and have the results of this form sent to another team or another channel for you to keep track of. There are many more apps that you can use within your team's environment. This is just giving you a taste of what's possible. The biggest mistake, number 5, is coming up. Warning sign number 5. This might be a hard one for some of you to hear, but I still have to ask it. Are you still sending Zoom links like it's 2019? During a Zoom call quite a while ago, I watched a presenter fumble around looking for a file that they needed. They were sharing their screen and looking through their files as well as their emails for that information, while we all watched in awkward silence. On the other hand, In a proper Teams meeting, that same document is already in a shared channel. Everyone has access to it, and with a click of a button, we can all be working on it or commenting on it together in the meeting. Now, another important point I want to make about Teams meetings and why I think they win out over Zoom meetings is that if I'm in a team with a group of people that are meeting regularly, the best place for the information that we discussed is in that team. So when we hold that Teams meeting in that team channel, the recording of that meeting is in the channel, easy to be found, whether it's in the posts area like you're seeing here or in the files area like you're seeing here. This is happening automatically. There's no need for anyone to send us a link after the meeting. And the other thing that's happening is that if we're recording the meeting in Teams, it's automatically doing a transcript for us. So the transcript is available with that recording as soon as that meeting's over. If you want to create additional summary notes, you can certainly take that transcript, put it into your favorite AI tool, create that summary, and throw it into your OneNote that's attached to that team, attached to that channel. So everything is together, easy for everyone to access and look back on. The meeting superpowers I'm talking about is that instant file access, live transcription, quick access to information after the meeting, easy to find within a place that we're used to looking, no searching through our inboxes or emails. Being able to see the recording and highlights of the meeting with just a click of the button, whether it's viewing the recap from the posts area or going to the files area and looking at the recordings folder in there. Another important detail about a Teams meeting is that you can integrate all kinds of apps, including a whiteboard and polls to have people interact with during the meeting and have it accessible and available to those participants after the meeting. So you have all that information at your fingertips. Okay, so if you're seeing any of these signs, here's what I need you to do right now. Let's start with channel cleanup. Audit your current channels, create project-specific or topic-specific channels, divide up the information, make it easier for people to find conversations and files and everything else they need to collaborate with you on. Archive the chaos. You can archive an entire team, or maybe just move things around. You can move files from one place to another, one channel to another, one team to another. Once you've done all that, let's try and integrate some apps. Add Planner for your tasks to some of those project channels. Set up OneNote as your meeting notes application and stop using email or Word documents. Install other essential apps like lists or forms in different teams or channels and see how it goes. See how that changes the information you're providing to everybody else and all the interaction that can happen quickly and easily. But here's the thing. This is just the beginning of your Teams transformation. If you want the complete Teams transformation blueprint that I use with my clients, I've created a free Teams mastery checklist available to you in the description below. Just click the link and it's all yours. All right, have fun. Good luck. Bye-bye.